live for another one. This is Life with Marlene, your Florida vlogger. So I just had a quick chit chat conversation that I wanted to ask you guys before I head off to bed. I wanted to ask you guys what keeps you stable. Um, just thinking about a few things in this life. And you got to have something that keeps you stabilized. What keeps you functioning? What keeps you happy? Hi, Edward. How are you doing? Happy end of the month. And I just wanted to ask you guys what keeps you balanced? What what keeps you with peace? What helps you to, be regulated and being your best? Edward says God. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. God keeps me stable and balanced. Hey, Leonica, how are you doing? I was just wanted to know because, having so much different people on my channel, so many different gems, I know everybody has something different that keeps them balanced and normal, functioning properly. And I think it's important to have conversations like this because for some people, it's God. For others, it may be getting out in nature. Some people, it's getting exercise. Some people, it's giving back. Thank you so much, Leonica. I've seen you, and I definitely appreciate you. Thank you so much. And that's one of the things that I have just been trying my best to make sure that I do things to keep myself stable, like balanced, like okay. And if we don't keep ourselves balanced, we're going to be completely off. You're going to be off track. You're going to be whack. You're going to be like, go crazy mentally if you don't keep yourself with some sort of thing that will stabilize you. Also, don't discount good friendships. Having people that I can talk to and I don't have to walk on eggshells around them, that really helps me a lot. Having people that are supportive, not just, like people like to say that's my friend. I'm not talking about fake friends, fake support. I'm talking about real friends that you can talk to at any time, that they will text you, they will show up for you. That is, if I didn't have my true ride or die friends, and I can count my friends on one hand, that's just the truth. People who say that they have like 20 friends and more, I don't know how you guys can keep up with having 20 friends, but I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. Hi, Lara. How are you doing? I don't know what to say about that part, but I am just on here to give some encouragement for some things that keep you stable. And don't discount your true ride or die friends. I don't mean the fake people, the fake support, the people who claim that they love you. I'm talking about your real, true people who are really there for you. And I don't know what I would do without my true friends that call me, that show up, that when I'm feeling very down, will be like, hey, let's go hang out. Let's do this. Like, they take the initiative to be my friend. There's nothing like people who pour into you. And when you're feeling down, like they know exactly what to do, what to say, and they say the right words. And I can't discount that either, because if you guys have ever been in a space where you've been very discouraged you've ever been through some things in your life, which I think everybody has been through something in their life. And if you have had some really good friends that have been there for you in those hard times, make sure that you also give back. You know, while people are a good friend to you, are you a good friend to them? That's something that I'm working on. I know that I've had so many times where I have not been the good friend, and it's just reality. You know, sometimes we get into spaces where we're just not stable mentally, or just very depressed, and just we don't know how to be there for others because we don't know how to be there for ourselves. And I'm not making excuses, I'm just telling the truth. So that's something that's important. If you have really great friends, make sure that you also show up for them too, because we can't just say we want to be a friend. We have to be a friend to get a friend. And I want to say to all those who have been my friends, they know who they are. Thank you so much. And to the people who support me on social media, thank you guys so much. You know, thank you is a word that people forget sometimes. Like, as content creators, I can never say thank you enough to those who watch my videos, play my playlists, subscribe to my channel, send me emails of support. Thank you. Um, I forget sometimes because, you know, social media is about grinding and hustling, and making sure you're getting your watch time and putting up your content, and you're in the mode to just do your content creator stuff, that you forget to say sometimes, hey, thank you to everybody who pours into me. Thank you to everybody who shows up. Thank you to everybody who has modded for my channel. Thank you to everybody who has joined my channel membership. So if I have forgot recently, I apologize. And thank you for supporting my channel. But also with that too, what keeps me stable is also the material that I read. And I've heard a lot of people say that reading really helps them. And I was never, back in the day, I was never a person who liked to read, because I wasn't, that was just, it wasn't my vibe. I was more of a person who liked to listen to things like podcasts and things like that. But the more that now I have gotten into reading books, it really has helped me, because when you read positive material, and there's a lot of things that we can read. We can read inspirational things. Like, I like to read or real life stories of people who have been through things and they overcome. I like to read motivational things. I like to read affirmations. There's a lot of things that we can read to fortify our mind, to encourage ourselves, so that we can be good and stable. So it's just a reminder, you know, have a few things. Some people read devotionals, some people read the word, some people are a part of support groups, and however you get the support. For me, that's what I think is important. Miss Purple says, hello, beautiful, in chat. Just saying hi. It's storming bad here in Memphis, Tennessee. Okay, Miss Purple, thank you so much for supporting. I hope everything's going to be okay. We're thinking of you. Thank you so much. So I wanted to say this to everybody, to make sure whatever it is that you're doing in your day-to-day life, that you're doing things to support your mental health. You have people in your life that pour into you, and you're also looking for ways to support yourself, you know? And that's something that I know I didn't used to do. I've always been the person to be a supporter. I've always been the friend. I've always been the loved one. I've always been the encourager, the motivator for other people. But, there is a saying that the motivator needs motivation too. So we can't always give, we can't always be the person who gives support. It's okay, guys. It's okay, everyone, to also give support and ask for support as well, you know? And that's something that we forget to do sometimes. Like, if you're in need of encouragement, if you need a positive word, that's the reason why you have friends and supporters and coaches and different people that will keep you on track and keep you balanced. Because sometimes, I'm not going to lie to y'all, sometimes we're not balanced. Sometimes we're not okay. Because life's and problems happen, that we don't expect, that gets us very discouraged. And the thing about that is we can't change our circumstances, but we can always change the way we look at our life. We can always change the way you perceive it. Okay, this is what's going on in my life and it's messed up. I'm unhappy about it. I'll be sad. And then you give yourself the permission to feel that way. When I was growing up, I was always made to feel like if you felt down, if you felt discouraged, like you were a bad person, you were a person that didn't have faith, you were a person that, was not loved. But no, it makes you a human being. And don't discount your feelings. If you feel down, if you feel sad, if you feel discouraged, if you're going through things, if people are using you, these are all red flags. Everything that happens in this life, it's for us to pay attention. If you notice that people are using you, the question is, what are you doing about it? Will you keep letting them use you? If you feel sad, you got to ask yourself, why do I feel sad? And give yourself that permission. Say, it's okay for me to be sad right here, right now. And I deserve to release it and to let it go. Because before, I'll tell you, like anybody else, I would just hold everything in because I was always taught, like, you got to be strong. You got to take care of yourself. And we'll get in that mode of thinking that we have to be perfect. And we're not perfect. Our life isn't perfect. People aren't always going to be there. We're going to feel sad. We're going to have disappointments. We're going to feel sick. People will backstab you. People will be jealous of you. But you got to find a way to ground yourself and make yourself feel okay. And sometimes that being okay means, hold on. Sometimes being okay means letting yourself cry. Like, I mean, really, like letting it out, crying your eyes out. There's nothing like that really for me because everybody is different. Not everybody is a crier. And if crying doesn't work to get that out, journaling has been very, very helpful for me in keeping me grounded because there's certain things that I can't tell other people because people will think you're strange or you're weird. And also, you don't want everybody to know everything that you're thinking. So those are the times where cracking open that journal and writing everything how you feel. You got to get those things out, everybody. You got to get those things out, gems. We're valuable women, you're valuable men. And sometimes because of life and adulting, that we don't even let ourselves slow down to feel. We don't let ourselves get the rest. We don't let ourselves recover. We don't allow ourselves to be sad and to say that situation was messed up or I didn't get the support. And then letting yourself feel that, because that is how you keep yourself grounded, not feeling that my life has to be perfect and situations can happen to me. So that helps me to be like, yeah, people are going to disappoint me. People are going to backstab me. People are going to be mean. People aren't going to be available, but I have to learn to be available to myself. And I need to find some ways that will keep me grounded, keep me at peace, and whatever it is that works for you, whether it's your faith, whether it's friends, whether it's a reading, watching some movies, being out in nature, spending time with your pets, exercising, giving back to other people. There's so much things that can ground us and make us be okay. And for some reason, I don't know why, I was about to head to bed and this came in my head like, oh, and it was just like pulling me to have this conversation. So I feel like maybe this topic was for one of my gems. I just wanted to say to everybody, give yourself the permission to be grounded, that it's okay for you to ask for help. It's okay for you to cry. It's okay for you to be discouraged. But the thing about it is, what's not okay is to let ourselves stay discouraged. What's not okay is to expect for people who don't support us to start supporting us. We also have to use our mind and pay attention. If somebody has never supported you, they're not going to start. We have to be realistic. So I did want to say that we got to be realistic and we got to take care of ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, please take care of how you eat, what you're eating, what you're consuming, in your mind, what you're letting yourself be entertained by from the TV, entertainment, what you're listening to on social media, who you allow yourself to be around, and also pay attention to other people's energy. When I started paying attention to people's energy and like not blaming myself for people's bad attitude, for what they didn't do, for how they didn't show up, and that's not my problem. It's not for me to fix other people. I became more grounded, at peace, and happy when I stopped trying to fix other people's situations and I let them make their own mistakes. If it's your children, if it's spouse, significant other, it's people that you care about. But if you always try to save people, it's called a savior complex. And I spent years in therapy working on my savior complex because I always felt like I have to do it. And it's one thing to be kind, but it's another thing to be taken advantage of. That's not kindness. That's being a doormat. And there is a big difference. You can be kind, but kindness has limits. You know? Hey, realist, thanks for tapping in again. I had to learn that part. It took me a very long time to realize that kindness has limits and that just because people ask you for things, want things, request things, doesn't mean you have to do it. There's a thing called no. That keeps me grounded when I learn to find my voice and say no. And I'm not going to feel guilted and I'm not going to feel forced and I'm not going to show up to things that I don't want to show up for, to be places where I'm not received well. You know what I'm talking about. Going places and being around people that they don't want you there. They don't like you. And it could be your very own relatives. It could be fake people. Don't go around the fake. don't, like, if you know somebody's energy is off, like, what are you doing? Why are you around them? And we'll tell ourselves this whole narrative. Oh, I love them. Okay, but do they love you back? How do they treat you? They say they care about you. They say they love you, but what are they doing to prove that to you? Okay? So, it's just giving you something to think about, everybody. Um because life is busy. We're busy people, busy ladies and gentlemen. To all of my gems, I know you guys are busy. We're all busy doing things, but make sure that you're getting your rest. You're taking care of your physical health. You have people that support you and pour into you. You find a way to ground yourself. And you have spaces where you feel safe. I think this is so important, to find spaces where you feel supported, where you feel loved, places where you feel encouraged, like you feel yourself growing around these individuals. Because I know I used to lie to myself a lot, thinking that my relatives or quote unquote friends were there for me. And when I stopped lying to myself, I'm like, no, I'm not going. I don't want to be around. I'm not going to support. I don't want to hear. And I start cutting off and blocking and just don't show up. And I don't want to hear about that foolishness. That helped me to be grounded and to feel peace and to feel supported, and like my headaches was stopping because I wasn't letting myself get put in the middle of other people's drama. I don't know about you guys, but that used to be me a lot. Like, you're not even doing anything, and these people that are very negative, always got drama going on, always dry begging for money, always involved in something, always arguing with somebody, but never assuming accountability for what they do. They're always making trouble, always throwing rocks, always doing something, but then they never do anything about to change their behavior. It's like, no, you're blaming other people, but you're the reason why you're suffering. And I had to say that to myself too. Sometimes the reason why you're suffering and going through things is because we're being very hard-headed. And you feel like you have to do these things for people. And you feel like you got to do this and you have to show up. No, you don't. You don't have to show up. Don't show up for people who don't show up for you. Stop being there. Stop giving your money away. Don't waste your time. And stop pouring into people who don't pour into you. When I learned those things and I started to go silent, not because you're upset and angry at people, but spending time on yourself, by yourself, doing the things that you enjoy. That part, when I say, is one of the biggest lessons that I have been learning in the past few years. Like, instead of making excuses or wanting other people to be around me, well, how about I learn to do something I've been wanting to? Like, recently, I have a few things in my life, like, I don't know how to do. And I was like, instead of saying I can't do X, Y, and Z, how about you take the time and you learn? So instead of being home complaining and talking about how tired you are, how about pouring into yourself and saying, yeah, I know I'm tired, but I'm going to learn how to do this, this, and this, so that I can't say that anymore. Now I can say I can do those things. And then I keep removing things off of my things that I quote unquote can't do. And now I turn my can'ts into my cans. That right there, that right there has been so good for me. Turning your can'ts into your cans. But it's if you want to. See, for a long time, I didn't want to. I just wanted to complain and say things and looking for pity. But we got to get away from the pity part, having a pity party, feeling sorry for ourselves, and then do something about what is disrupting our mental health. What is causing us to not have money? Are we wasting our money? Are we giving it away, giving it to people, trying to live up, keep up with the Joneses or whoever, or feeling that we got to look like or be like people who are on social media that don't know us, which is weird, but some people do it. So it just gives us some things to think about, Gems. How are we showing up for ourselves? If we're showing up for ourselves. And that was the thing that I had to learn, that it was okay to show up for myself. Go silent for a while, to work on some personal development. I had to go silent for a while and get myself some therapy. Started doing some things for me, taking better care of my hair and my skin and my teeth and whatever it is that is your thing that you need to work on. Maybe it's your health. It could be your finances. Maybe you need to get some education and level up. Maybe you need to start your business. We all have things that we need to do that kind of like you're either afraid to do or you've been procrastinating. And now is the time, when you go silent and stop doing things for people for a time so that you can actually have the time to do things for yourself. Stop doing things for your sister, auntie, mama, cousin, boyfriend, husband, girlfriend, whoever, and turn that right around. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, I deserve to do this, this, and this for me, and I'm going to do it. And then that's all there is to it. And don't tell other people you're going to do it. You just do it. And then you cross that off the list and move on to the next thing. That's been things that has grounded me, not waiting for other people to spend time, waiting for people to make time for me. I learned to make quality time with myself, by myself. You guys should try that one on for size. Making time with yourself, by yourself. There's a lot of people who don't like their own company. They always have something going on. Either it's the radio, it's the TV. They never spend any time in silence. So you don't have time for your healing. You don't have time to find out what you want to do and to think about some things and to think things through. So gotta learn to have some quiet me time, some solo time, some healing time for your self-preservation. Tell you it's nothing like it when you give yourself the permission to let yourself elevate. And I will tell myself, like, it's time to level up in this, this, or this, and then make a plan, and then think about how you're going to do it. And if you don't know, you get a mentor, you get a coach, you get this person, you get somebody who is already actively doing what you want, what you're seeking, and then you go for it. But you got to walk away from things that is stopping you. Are you stopping yourself, or are other people stopping you, or are you just somewhere where you're not growing? Because I've had times where the reason why I could not be grounded is because that season of my life had already ended, but I didn't close the door, right? Like, you're not growing in that job. You're not growing in that romantic relationship. You're not growing in that friendship. You're not growing with your relatives. It's so difficult when you know that the relationship has run its course. Maybe it worked, it was good for a time, or maybe it was never good. But when you can see it, like, okay, I'm not growing here, I'm not happy, I don't have peace, it's time to close the door. And, there's no guilt behind it. It's just a reality. Sometimes it's just time to move on. It's not that you're hating on anybody or you're jealous. It's just that, no, I love myself, period. And because I love myself, I was like, you know, whatever it was for the time period, you don't look back. You're going to be in the moment, in your present, and say, cut that, close that door, block that person, and then you do what you want to. And I tell you, when I took my power back, when I took my time back, all the time wasted talking to people about foolishness and drama, oh, not only did I feel better with my mental health, I had peace. I got money. I wasn't involved in drama. It was just so good for me when I cut off toxic people from my life. It was so much better for me when I learned to spend time by myself, you know, and being more independent, being more confident, enjoying my own company, being my own friend, you know, listening to myself, and going for walks with myself. That really has grounded me. If you guys have never done that, I recommend it at all times. Just like no music, no phone, nothing. You just go for a peaceful walk with yourself, and it's just your time where you're just talking to yourself, like about whatever it is going on, like whether you're happy, this is the time where you know, encourage yourself and say, you're doing a great job, I'm proud of you, keep going. But if you're not, and you need to strike a balance, like, okay, first thing I need to do is I need to find a different job. I need to get rid of this person, that person out of my life. I need to be working on eating better. I need to get more sleep. You know, every single adults, I should say mature adult, knows where they're not growing, but then it's having the courage to do something about it. And I think that's the difference right there. Because as for me, I'm a whole grown, mature woman. And I know when I've been stagnant. And I was like, yeah, I know. Yeah, we need to do better. Or that needs to change. Or this isn't working. That's not working. And then I give myself the permission to let it go. I give myself the permission to try something new, to be scared and still walk through that door, to close a door or to open it, because both are scary. Closing a door is scary, and opening a new door to an opportunity is scary as well. But that will help you to be happy. Closing a door can make you happy, and opening a door can make you happy. But you got to find whichever one that you need at the time, you know, and move according to that, and let yourself be who you deserve to be. And I think that's what this life is all about. Hi, T. Racy. How are you doing? Welcome. Right, Edward? Realist says 100, right? That's one of the things that I had to learn, to be honest with you guys. I had to learn that it was okay for me to be different, that I don't have to compare myself to anybody else, because I'm not anybody else, and you're not anybody. You're not everybody else either, Gems. You know, I believe that it's very important for us to celebrate our differences, our quirks, our idiosyncrasies, our, you know, just being different, and embrace that. Embrace your talents, embrace your gifts, and whatever it is that you need to work on, whatever are the things that make you happy, then you need to do that. And when you get off track from doing what you're supposed to do, you know what helped me is reminding myself of a time when I was actually doing what I used to do. It's like reminding yourself of your old dreams, and activating, reactivating that. And that has really been good for me recently, reactivating my dreams. Something that you liked to do years ago, but then you didn't do it because for one reason or the other, finances, bad relationship, lack of support, lack of confidence, making excuses, procrastination, whatever it is. But today is a new day, and we're better, we're more improved, we're mature, we're accountable. So today you're going to have a different experience with that because you have experienced personal growth. So give yourself that permission to go back to your old dreams and to go for it, because you're a different person. You're better and more improved. Okay. So I just want to encourage you guys with these thoughts to ground yourself on a firm foundation so that you can be okay. I don't want you guys walking around being really stressed out, having messed up mental health, having very toxic relationships in any form. Anybody who is in your life, if they're toxic, they got to go. If they're using you, they got to go. If you're unhappy, you need to find out why you're unhappy and find a way to make yourself happy. But it starts with you giving yourself the permission to be happy. That's something that I had to do, because sometimes for a long time we have been so unhappy, so miserable, that it's a new thought to tell yourself, I deserve to be happy. Not It's not the relationships you have, it's not the money you have, it's not the material things, it's who am I inside, and learning to be happy, learning to be at peace, learning to be confident with the woman or the man that you are, and loving yourself and speaking over your life and saying, I am more than enough, I am worth it, I'm my own friend, and I'm going to take care of myself well. Not good, well. Okay? Don't wait for other people to treat you well. You have to treat yourself. You have to be the role model. You have to make the blueprint. All people do is give you what you are. And if you're not treating yourself well, maybe the reason why people are treating you on the low vibration spectrum. So when you elevate how you treat yourself, when you start treating yourself good, when you spend time with yourself, then they're going to know, oh, she or he, they don't take no mess. Look how they treat themselves. Look how good they look. Look what they do for themselves. Look at the relationships they have. See, people know when you do not treat yourself well, and that could be the reason why they treat you the way they treat you. And I had to be accountable to that part. I wasn't treating myself the way that I deserved. And it's not about making excuses. It's just making it happen. Working on one thing at a time, not overwhelming yourself, because that's what we'll do sometimes. When you have so much things that you need to work on within yourself, it becomes overwhelming. But when you take things one thing at a time, I'm going to work on spending time on myself. I'm going to work on my mental health. I'm going to work on my physical health. I'm going to work on my spiritual health. I'm going to work on my financial health. And then next time you turn around and look at yourself and you be like, well, look at me. I'm amazing. And you can have a smile on your face and be like, I'm phenomenal. You say, yes, I am. And you could do your snaps. Be like, yes, I take care of myself. Okay? Just want to give some encouragement to all of the Gems family. Giving you some encouragement, pouring some love into you today, and saying to you all, affirm within yourself, I am enough. Affirm within yourself, I'm worthy. Affirm within yourself, I can do anything. Affirm within yourself, I'm blessed. Affirm within yourself that I can do anything. Affirm within yourself, I will have peace because peace starts with me. And when you know that, when you believe that, you will be stable, you will be balanced, you will be happy, and you will be peaceful. I wish you all nothing but the best, sending you positive light, peaceful energy, restoration, and encouragement. I am Life with Marlene, your Florida vlogger. Thank you so much for tuning in. I wish you all well. Sending you positive vibes for the new month. Tomorrow will be July. I can't believe it. We're going to be in a new month, and I hope that this month will bring you nothing but elevation, personal growth, strength, peace, and joy. You all deserve all of it. All of it, gems. I hope it for you. I wish it for you, and I pray it for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be encouraged. And you know what I say over here on Life with Marlene: love your life and live your life. I'll see you guys back tomorrow for a live stream, maybe. I'm not positive, but maybe a live stream. But most definitely, I have a premiere that's going to premiere at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you have the time, feel free to come over and join in live in the premiere. This premiere I'm going to be doing is my Cocoa Beach, Florida trip. So I hope to see you guys there. If not, check out the replay. And anywho, have a great evening, have a great night, or to my international family that's in the future, good morning, and have a great rest of your day. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to my mods. Shout out to my channel members. I appreciate every single one of you. And if you're a new subscriber, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're on our road to 2,000 subscribers. Got about 75 more subscribers until we hit our 2K. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much. Be encouraged, everybody. This is Life with Marlene, and I'm out.